time for experts.
Umingo Magara nimesikia amekasirika. Tutaangalia maneno ya Umingo Magara. Now, let me quickly address these questions because I've been told tutakuwa na round nyingine, si ndio? Sasa Bakari SG ameuliza, what plans do we have in place to do public participation? First, wacha nianze na admission that the way we have conducted public participation before has left the bigger segment of our society because it was more formal, more academic, too professionalized. Yet tuko na watu wengi hapo chini ambao wako na maoni tofauti, lakini kupata nafasi ya kuengage na sisi imekuwa shida. Kwa hivyo, in this coming budget, we will try as much as possible to make sure that we engage you in a more informal manner, like we have just started here at the Jivanji Garden, so that we don't speak only to some elites somewhere. We put meeting at KICC and only elites come to give their views. We must devolve this public participation and we must also engage at informal levels. Now, opposition leader has asked me that there were austerity measures that we are putting in place and then they have seen choppers. To be honest, we have not adjusted any money for public transport upwards, nothing. The issue that I saw in the media was that there was an advertisement for chopper services. You can advertise for any service in government. That does not mean you are taking that service. Because for any government service, it must be competitively tendered for. Now, on the issue of choppers, let me be candid. You know, there are also some politics that we play at our own levels. Don't think everybody loves Mbadi. Not everybody loves me. And that is the nature of politics. I have used chopper before on 3 occasions to government functions. Number one, I have just talked to you about going to Tana River. I left Nairobi after meeting at the State House to go to Tana River and back. I don't know whether I would have made it using my car. I wouldn't have. So I had to go to Tana River and really see for myself. As I said, long gone are days when Cabinet Secretary in charge of National Treasury would be on 14th floor from January 1st to December 31st without engaging with wananchi. You can go with your car, but if it is not practical, then you can also get the fastest means. Especially the project that I went to look at, those are projects that are funded through climate financing. This is what we call the financing in terms of local communities, FLOCA. The second one is when I went to Kakamega, there were issues with the expenditure of FLOCA funds. I had to go to see for myself because we even stopped the bank account of Kakamega County on that. I didn't want to be someone who sits here and money is probably being embezzled elsewhere. I had to go and witness myself. And from there, I went to another function of FLOCA in Kisumu. So let me ask you, once I finish that and I want to go to my rural home, does the chopper drop me on the road and come back to Nairobi and I walk to my home? The chopper will definitely drop me at my home. So that is exactly what I did. After I finished the 3 events, one in Kakamega, another one in Kisumu, 2 in Kisumu actually, where we were with Governor Nyang'nyong. After that, I could not be dropped in Kisumu to walk to Suba. Suba was very nearby. Before they come back to Nairobi, I was dropped home and the chopper came back to Nairobi and I drove back to Nairobi when my time to come to Nairobi came. The last one was the issue of tree planting and also to go and launch electricity projects together with Wandai. I don't know what this person who wrote this, the problem he had with electricity in Suba. Suba people have not had electricity for years, for decades. If they get electricity and we go there for official government function, I don't know how that is affecting someone. So really, we are trying not to be wasteful. We are trying to be very prudent. There is even no money to waste. In fact, I would be like what our people would call, in vernacular, I would be Judge Walk at this stage to spend, to waste public money. It is not there. I've been saying, hata kama ni kuiba, Mmeiba ya kutosha, pesa hakuna ya kuiba saa hii. There is no money in this government to steal, I will tell you. Unless you now just want Kenyans to die. Now, I think I spent so much time on that. Let me move to NSSF going up. Yes, a law was passed so many years back on NSSF to increase it to a percentage of salary, 6%. That law, it's only that it is being implemented today. But let me tell you, Sahi, you may not see the value of saving for retirement. But as a personal finance advisor, I would tell you, you need to save money for your retirement. In fact, from day one. Sahi, because many of us probably are younger, ask someone like me. I am now turning 44 this year, 54 this year. If I was working in a formal employment where my retirement is 60, I have no more than 6 years. But mine is even worse because I don't know about tomorrow. I can be rendered jobless anytime. Therefore, now I've started feeling the need to have pension in my pocket. That is why one of the reasons I also brought that amendment so that I protect also myself when I retire. That when I get my pension, I take the whole of it without surrendering anything to the government. But V.a.t, take it from me, we are not increasing V.a.t at all. Actually, the finance bill of this year may not have any tax adjustment upwards in terms of rates, which are we cannot overtax Kenyans anymore. We have reached a limit where we are saying no more space for taxation, especially on employment income. You will not see any more taxes on employment income under my watch as a CS. CPA Kiberenge, shareable revenue, I hear you very well. Actually, it was 418 billion for 2024-25. You are saying it has come down to 2025-26 to 405 billion. That is true. Do you know why? I'll explain. 2023-24, the government budgeted to transfer money to the counties. But by the end of the year, we had not given counties 31 billion shillings, 30.8. So that 30.8 was revoted in 24-25. So the shareable revenue was 387 for 24-25, 387. But because there was 30 billion which was not paid the other year, that was added to 387. If you do that math, it takes you to 418. Now this year, there is no carryover, or I project that there will be no carryover to the next year. That is why it is 405. So 405, compare it with 387, not 418. 418, we loaded the carryover from 23-24. I hope I've explained that. So I am not killing devolution. I'm a student of devolution. Remember, I am chaired Orange Democratic Movement Party for over 10 years. Party that believes in devolution from morning to evening. I would be the last person to go to Treasury and fight devolution. Ask governors. They will tell you if there is a friend of devolution whom they have experienced, it is John Mbadi. Since I came there, I have made sure that their money that goes to counties is released. And we started releasing even before the law was passed in Parliament to share revenue. So I am a supporter, a strong defender of devolution. Mike, I will take up this and discuss with the CS in charge of MSMEs, because his proposals on what to fund come from line ministries. So money that is meant for giving to groups should come through that ministry. I think Marco Lande, you have talked about 3 Rs, and I agree with you that reform, the recovery of the economy we are trying to do. Reforms in the financial sector, yes, we are trying to do that. In fact, we are implementing e-procurement to date, which has eluded us for years. We want to delink procurement officers from procurement process, remove human influence, so that people can see, you can tender in a more transparent manner. That will save us a lot. But then you asked the relief to the employed. Yes, we must do much more. One of the reliefs to the unemployed is to employ them, not to give them money, not to give them stipends. That should be the last resort. Even in the US, they only give stipends to people who are not able to get jobs. So we must make sure that people get jobs. We must expand the job space. You can only expand the job space by targeting those sectors which can create meaningful and reasonable jobs. Apart from the housing, which is ongoing, we need to work on manufacturing sector. We must now actualize this value addition. The agriculture sector, the leather industry, the apparel industry, we have the tea sector, we have coffee sector, all these sectors, and we must make them appealing to the younger generation, the Gen Zs. You know, Gen Zs will not go to the garden the traditional way, to the shambas the way we used to. So you have to make agriculture and farm work more appealing. And that is what the government is going to work on in the coming budget, to align it to agriculture, to align it to construction and, mining industry. There were only two sectors which shrank or contracted in last year, which have slowed our economic growth. One is mining and minerals. The second one is construction. Construction is because of the stalled roads projects, and also because the private sector is not able to get money from the banks, and therefore we have slowdown in construction of houses from the private sector. From the public sector, yes, we have seen a surge. Now we must give money to mining ministry, which is under Joho, and we must give money also to the contractors, the road contractors, and we must lower interest rates so that private sector can borrow money and get back to work. I think I have only one more to address.
You wanted to know about tax evasion.
Tax?
Because we might not get the mic to talk. Tax evasions. We understand there are families that have evaded tax since Kenya was created. We want to know what you're doing about it.
Without targeting specific families, because that will really be political. Yes, that will be political. I don't want to get there, but I will tell you, Kenyans, a lot of Kenyans, and very rich ones, are evading taxes. Yes. You know, and the doctors will forgive me. Let me tell you, even some of the doctors who treat us, they look at your mouth like this, whether your teeth is well arranged, and you pay thousands. Do you know personal income tax coming from such people is the lowest?
Arrest them.
Is the lowest. But again, it is shouting arrest. But if you mechanize, if you militarize tax collection, you will not realize your objective. So what we are saying is the starting point is to have a system. And the chairman is here. They are developing a system how to see. In fact, I've been saying we will be seeing you wherever you are. We see you, then we call you for a conversation. Yeah. We have already seen you. You are not paying some taxes. Can you tell us the plan how you have with us to pay it? But I would agree with you. There is a lot of tax evasion in this country, and people should be paying taxes. It may be some families, some other families, and other families, and other families. And if we are honest with ourselves, some of us come from families where they own rental houses. Rental income is the most abused. Only 17% of what we should collect, we are collecting. So some of you, including myself, who have rental income, please do soul searching. Do soul searching. After you Mbadi houses, you have do soul searching. Are you paying us? Are you paying us the tax? You know how much should be taxed, isn't it? Two quick ones. If you have zero money in your pocket, then you can buy. I think I was just responding to. It's the same thing that I responded to. And it was asking what to do to put money. To put money in people's pockets is we must manage this economy, to expand it, to create jobs. That is the starting point. The moment we create jobs, we will put money in people's pockets. This idea of having a few of us and then black tax too much is not very healthy. That's why everybody is complaining. You know, I am Mbadi. If I can feel the pressure, and I'm earning about $1 million, and I feel the pressure. That is before tax. Usifikiri hiyo ninabeba. Si baby, hata mimi I'm crying over housing levy, but my cry is lesser compared to you, because you a shilling for you is of more value than a shilling to me. Do you understand me? If today you are given 10,000, and I'm given 10,000. The effect it has in my life is lesser compared to you. Me, I will take 10,000 and go and have lunch with it naisha. Where you can use it to feed the whole of your family for a month. That is the difference. So we must appreciate that there is diversity in our nation, and we have this conversation like the one we are starting. How do we support people practically who are down here? So thank you very much for that. I think now, yes, please.
Don't
Yes.
go away. Stand there.
Yes.
So when you soul search, there is tax amnesty. Tafadhali, take advantage of it. Between now and the end of June, if you fell behind, when you soul search, please come. There is tax amnesty for all amounts up to December 31st, 2013. Yani ukianza 2013 ukiangalia nyuma, kama ulichelewa, wewe kuja hapana, ogopa. Tayari waziri na bunge na rais wakapitisha sheria so that we give you amnesty on penalty and interest. Sasa jameni. So soul search, and please come. Don't wait for June. Come this February. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor.